This is the other Critical Role set that I found on my shelf the other day, NPCs of Exandria 1. This pack is full of humanoids that can make for some really flavorful hero characters, NPCs or villains in your campaigns, whether you care a lick about Critical Role or not. And the best part is the set is half off on shop.wizkids.com as of the time I'm filming this. I don't get any kind of commission from them, but the link is down there in the doohickey below for your convenience. So without further ado, let's check out NPCs of Exandria 1. Enhance and improve your 5e games today with Hit Point Press. Helliana's Guide to Monster Hunting turns your 5e campaign into a full-on fantasy monster hunting show, with clue-driven hunts, epic multi-phase boss fights, and deep rules for harvesting your enemies into magic items, meals, and familiars, all with that signature loot tavern humor. If I Were a Lich Man is an Emmy-winning trilogy of funny, defiantly Jewish indie RPGs where liches, vampires, and bootlegger grandmas turn monsters into heroes and tabletop play into creative resistance. Or enhance your 5e games with animated spell, condition, and townsfolk cards. Learn more today at Hit Point Press by using our link in the corner or down below. Be aware that I will have some minor spoilers throughout here. Captain Avantika is the pirate captain of the Squall Leader and one of the Mighty Nine's most memorable early antagonists in Campaign 2. Charismatic, dangerous, and fanatically devoted to Ukatoa. Toa. She becomes closely tied to Ford's Warlock story. And yay for pirate minis! Of course, she can be used as a pirate captain, but also perhaps a sea cult leader, a warlock villain, or a morally dubious ally who can tempt the party with wealth and freedom and forbidden power. The new Monster Manual has a pirate captain stat block that would probably work pretty great for her. The Clasp Cutthroat is a great utility rogue mini for urban campaigns, criminal factions, or back alley encounters. As a member of Tal'Dorei's infamous criminal organization, the Clasp, it represents the quieter side of organized crime, thieves and assassins and spies and smugglers who rely on patience and positioning and dirty tactics rather than brute force. She does have a stat block in Tal'Dorei Reborn. She can attack twice, pile on 46 sneak attack damage, and use cunning action to constantly reposition or disappear into hiding. Uncanny Dodge makes her durable, so it's especially fun as a hit-and-run ambusher who darts between cover and isolates vulnerable characters and forces the party to actively pin her down. The Clasp Enforcer is the muscle the organization sends when subtlety has failed and someone needs to be, let's say, encouraged to pay a debt or to honor an agreement. The stat block makes it a durable frontline bruiser with 102 hit points, 3 Warhammer attacks, and second wind, but its unique ability is Intimidating Presence. Every melee hit can frighten the target, giving the Enforcer and its allies advantage against that creature. It's a great leader for a group of lower level criminals, with the Enforcer battering and terrifying one target while the rest of the gang takes advantage. The Clasp Member is a more general-purpose criminal mini than the Cutthroat or the Enforcer. He is one that's going to go into my Tavern Folk bag of minis because he looks perfect just standing menacingly in the dark corner of any seedy tavern. He can be a guild thief, a back alley killer, a smuggler, or just a guy meant to intimidate people standing on the other side of a negotiation table. There's no dedicated stat block for him as far as I can tell, but the Assassin is a good choice if you want him to be a serious threat. For a lower level encounter, you can use Bandit Captain, while the newer Bandit Deceiver stat block could be pretty good if you want him to be more cunning and more socially skilled. Jourreal the Caedogeist, also known as the Inevitable End, is an ancient drow assassin of Lolth who becomes a major threat during Campaign 2. Her powers were amplified through a rare arrangement involving Lolth and Asmodeus, and after her body was sundered and hidden away, Oban restored her as part of his group of seemingly unstoppable champions. For the mini itself, she's a great fit for a supernatural assassin or spectral killer. Jourreal can move through solid surfaces and was devastating when able to set up sneak attacks, making her especially suited to encounters where she stalks the prey through walls, attacks vulnerable characters, and vanishes before the party can surround her. King Warren Drassig is a deep cut from Tal'Dorei's history rather than an NPC Vox Machina personally encountered. He was a powerful oligarch who seized control of Amon, declared himself its first king, and founded the brutal kingdom of Drassig, helping set the stage for the scattered war that eventually led to the modern Republic of Tal'Dorei. For the mini, he looks like a king. We don't actually have a ton of royal-looking minis, so he's a good one for that collection. He could also be a tyrant or a warrior noble. For the stat block, maybe knight if you want him to be as dangerous in combat as he looks. The Ravagers are a violent cult of raiders and marauders who terrorize the Dividing Plains in the name of the Ruiner Grumsh, and the Slaughter Lords were among their most powerful warlords. Alchemical treatments transform these champions into unnaturally large, enhanced killers capable of wielding enormous weapons and channeling the Ruiner's divine magic. This guy has 4 dual greatsword attacks per turn, aggressive movement, legendary resistances, and legendary actions. He can also cast Spirit Guardians, Flame Strike, and even Firestorm, making this mini and the stat block great for a Barbarian Warlord or a Cult Champion. The Ravager Stabby-Stabber, yes, that's what this one's called, is what happens when the Ravagers take one of their most nimble warriors, in this case a goblin, and force them to drink Skullfire, a concoction that strips away much of their reason and turns them into obedient, flesh-hungry killers. We've all been there. It's not the most robust combatant, but it has an ability called Stabby Frenzy, where each time it lands a melee attack, it immediately attacks again and keeps attacking until it finally misses. With Nimble Escape letting it disengage or hide as a bonus action, this guy has the potential for a campaign-defining moment. The Remnants are a secretive cult devoted to the Whispered One, Heckna, and the Remnant Chosen are the rare followers who claim to actually hear their banished master speaking to them from beyond the Divine Gate. The Chosen have magic resistance, necrotic immunity, and spells all the way up to power word kill. Their magic also empowers their next Withering Touch, which can reduce a slain creature and its non-magical possessions to gray dust. This is an excellent cult leader, dark archmage, or a Vecna-themed boss, particularly if you want one that's still humanoid. The Remnant Cultist is a rank-and-file follower of the Whispered One. Every cultist undergoes a horrific initiation in which they remove one of their own eyes. It probably makes recruiting a little bit difficult. The stat block leans heavily into stealing and protecting forbidden knowledge. Unknowable Secrets punishes attempts to read their minds and magically contact them, while Spell Steal lets them counter a spell and then cast that stolen spell themselves. They also carry a Dagger of Wounding and have spells up through Circle of Death, making them good as sinister cult mages, secret keepers, or dangerous lieutenants for a Lich, a Chosen One, or a Necromancer. Overall, this is a really strong set for DMs who want villains, particularly humanoid villains. You get several minis that naturally work together, with the 3 Clasp figures forming a little criminal group of their own, the Ravagers giving you 2 very different combat threats, and the Remnants as high-level spellcasters. Avantika and Jourreal are great for Critical Role fans, but both are easy to repurpose, and Warren Drassig is a fantastic King, Knight, or Tyrant mini. More than anything, this set gives you a lot of named character quality minis that can be reused as villains and NPCs in basically any fantasy campaign. I don't think anyone who sees this set of minis on their own will immediately think of Critical Role unless they're really hardcore fans, no matter how you see that, for better or worse. NPCs of Exandria, number 1, is available right now. It normally has an MSRP of $60 and is currently $40 on Amazon, but as of the making of this video, it is $30 on the official WizKids store. On the WizKids site, there's also a bundle available for $100 that includes NPCs of Exandria Set 1, Characters of Tal'Dorei Set 1, which I reviewed the other day, Factions of Wildemount, Gwendolian Empire box set, and the premium figure Dieter the Dragon Turtle, which I reviewed in a video linked up there in the corner of your screen right now. Altogether, those 4 sets are $100. $100, so it's a pretty good deal. There's also another bundle for $120 that includes Monsters of Wildemount box sets 1 and 2, NPCs of Tal'Dorei Set 1, and NPCs of Exandria Set 1. Unfortunately, NPCs of Exandria appears in both bundles, but you could always resell the duplicate or gift it to a friend or use it as extra NPC variety at your table, though it's not really the kind of minis that you typically want duplicates of. But let me know what you think of this set in the comment section down below, and go check out the great 5e books and resources over at Hit Point Press. Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting is a 600-page 5e source book that adds structured monster hunt adventures, harvesting and crafting systems, tracking rules, new creatures, spells, subclasses, magic items, maps, playable races, a monster tamer class, and extensive digital extras for DMs who want deeper, more rewarding monster-focused gameplay. And that's it for me today. For now, please stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.